The Flicks Tape.
They have no future as they have no past. Tomorrow as today, slavery will be their only possible privilege.
We gods, man. We kings, man. We lords.
I was born black, I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
This is the remix. My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American.
Aborigine, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American. Aborigine actually means from the beginning. Two Latin words, ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning.
Great shock around the age of 5 or 6 or 7 to discover the flag to which you have pledged allegiance along with everybody else has not pledged allegiance to you. It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were you. It comes as a great shock to discover that the country, which is your birthplace, and to which you owe your life and your identity.
Remember that big Indian dude in that movie? Mm-hmm. He was cool. And then he couldn't talk unless he was talking about gum?
Yeah. You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either.
No way, really?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans.
Oh, you're shoemakers now. And more importantly, you're a person of color. You're no longer a Nipmuc person. And that shows through in these county histories and also in the census records at the time. You find a person described in the 1860 census as an Indian. In the 1870 census, they're described as a person of color or a colored person. Same person, but the census taker, as part of the white dominant society, decides that this person is no longer Nipmuc.
Since y'all always screaming about DNA, watch what the biology professor says about DNA. Watch this.
Smith's breakdown from Ancestry showed 97% European and 2% Asian.
I'm a black girl. I am not a Jewish white lady. I'm black. My parents were black.
She contacted Ancestry with questions, but says a rep told her the results are accurate.
These DNA tests for ethnicity are entertainment value only.
William Gilliland is a biology professor at DePaul. He says DNA kits can be great for connecting family members and finding relatives, but the science for ethnicity testing isn't as concrete.
There's nothing that confident for ethnicity. There's no diagnostic nucleotide. You can say this person is from Europe, this person's from Africa.
You see that? DNA can't tell you where you're from. A scholar tells the truth. Watch this.
But many African Americans, you are the Native Americans. You're not even African Americans, you're Native Americans. You're the ones that they brought blankets with, was it smallpox or whatever diseases, and wiped out entire communities because they said they came in peace, but they actually came in war. And they are still warring us right until this day. So there are those beloveds of you who really don't feel any connection to Mama Africa. And this is just, you know, a confirmation, a reassurance that America belongs to you.
So Africans know this history, but nobody else does? Come on, make it make sense.
At me. And so with the help of my wife, we extracted enough saliva to send off in the mail. We were so excited to see the results. After about 3 months, we were shocked. My lizard was 51% Ashkenazi Jewish. He was also 48% West Asian. This was really interesting. They also gave us a little bit of his background and his history, what he liked to eat, etc. Let us know which animal's DNA we should send in next.
You don't have to try to be something you're not.
Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? That's being something I'm not, then fine.
My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois.
I know all of that, Mama.
They don't know this. I am alive because of the blood of the people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world, to be allowed to be. It broke my heart when you changed your name. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all. Who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
All right. Let me get some fists in the chat if you can hear me loud, crisp, and clear. Go ahead and spam them feather emojis as well. I mean, man, all week I've been dealing with a bunch of old head, ignorant ass content creators that want to claim for one reason or another that we aren't indigenous. Man, why are so many people so invested over what we identify as? I wonder if it's because it shatters their reality. I wonder if it's because it dispels myths and illusions and decades of programming. Why is it that the pan-goofies, who call themselves Pan-Africans, and the Africans themselves are the main ones running around online calling us pretendians and wabos and all these little nicknames and shit? I mean, why do they care so much over what we identify as? We're going to get into it tonight, y'all. One of the biggest Sambos for the Africans, Philip Scott, he runs the African Diaspora News channel. This man was talking reckless the other night, and I guess he thought there wasn't no black Indians listening, but he was wrong. I got an email. I got the timestamps. We're going to let this old head have it because he out here talking real reckless about some shit he don't know nothing about. He's a Pan-African, right? He's a leader of the African Diaspora News channel, right? Be an African man. Do you, African man? You don't need to talk about us black Indians. You not us. You not native. You're an African. You know, like you're one of those Africans that were sold by their fellow Africans to the European for gunpowder and mirrors and beer. Remember that? Guys, don't get it twisted. I'm not sure if you got shit confused. It's not called a huge holy war where a bunch of black people got stolen. It's called a slave trade. The Africans were trading their fellow Africans. The Europeans were giving them spices and trinkets and muskets in return. It was a business deal. It was a trade. And all you pan-goofies want to act like you're so proud to be African, when if we really just call a spade, Africans invented slavery. Don't get it twisted. The Africans modern day want to cry about colonialism, They want to cry that the white man did them so dirty. Shut the fuck up. Y'all had Wakanda. Y'all have the diamonds and the gold and the minerals and the cobalt and the oil. You have everything. You had Wakanda. And then you had the infinite money glitch because you see, you sold your fellow African to the Europeans for more wealth and for guns. And you used those guns to get more of your fellow Africans to sell to the Europeans for more wealth. So we're supposed to feel sorry for them Africans because, like a dope fiend uncle, like a crackhead uncle, they smoked up all the money. It's called a slave trade. Africans were trading Africans like fucking Pokemon cards. And we got people like Phil who gonna down talk black natives when you Africans have a very interesting history. Oh, you Africans do each other oh so wrong. The transatlantic slave trade kicked off in the 15th century. Them Africans have been trading one another since the 7th century. Look it up. It's called the Arab slave trade. As early as the 7th century, way before the Europeans came in the 15th century, back in the 7th century, Africans were selling Africans to the Arabs. But let's hear what kind of weird, slick shit this motherfucker Phil gonna say about us black natives.
Another thing, I think before I go there, somebody said, I think on the yesterday's podcast, I was talking about something. I'm sorry, not podcast, live stream. I was talking about something, and in the middle, I think I said, of course we are of African descent. They said, oh, Phil, I was with you till you said that. I'm not of African descent. I'm an American Indian. Now, you can identify with whatever you want. Listen, I got sent a video the other day that people say in this country, there are 100 different genders. I saw the video.
So this ignorant ass nigga, this Pan-African who's so blackety black but has himself a Hispanic wife, right? Philip Scott is gonna kick it off by comparing black natives to LGBTQ members who claim to have a bunch of different genders. That's a weird comparison to try to make. Damn, you got a lot of xenophobic rhetoric there. Oh, just like an African. Ooh, you acted so xenophobic and tribalistic, so divisive. Oh, damn, just like an African does. What did he just say? Oh, y'all claim y'all black native. Well, hey, some people claim multiple genders. Okay.
Now, you can identify with whatever you want. Listen, I got sent a video the other day that people say in this country, there are 100 different genders. I saw the video. It was a local news story. People saying there's 100 different genders. But when you claim, and I know where y'all get this from. Oh, God. I don't know why anybody listened to that gentleman.
So now he's sneak dissing somebody. There's some mysterious gentleman that we're all getting this from, guys. We're not black Indians because we did our genealogy, conducted citizenship applications, and are members of federally recognized tribes. That's not why we're black Indians. It's because there's some mysterious guy that we got this from, says Phil. Let Phil tell it. We're not black natives. Black natives don't exist. We're just following the lead of some mysterious guy he's too afraid to name. Say it ain't so.
I'm sorry, he's an idiot. When you're claiming that you're an Indian, do you know American history? What Indian were you? Were you the one that had my ancestors enslaved? Because if you were part of the ones that, because you do know.
You better calm your old pugly bitch ass down trying to get some bass in your voice, boy. I like the way you dance, boy, but you need to slow down that two-step there. You need to slow it down. Who the fuck you think he is? Talk about, oh, you was native? Well, you was one of the ones that had my ancestors enslaved. You dumb fuck. I guess you didn't know that there were so many natives that were reclassified as Negro and placed on plantations right alongside your African ass. I guess he had no idea that there were Aboriginal black folks of non-African descent just here from the get-go, and they were reclassified as Negro and slaves and placed on plantations right alongside your African ass. I guess old head Phil don't know that out of all those slaves that traveled during the transatlantic slave trade, only 4% went to North America. Damn. Only 4% of the African slaves went to North America? But now we have a Black American populace, modern day, that's over 50 million strong, and you think that we're supposed to believe some story that what some African slave women on the plantations were just, spitting out 50, and somehow that's why we have this grand population now? Stop the cap. Stop the cap. This motherfucker really thought he was slick, trying to get some bass in his voice, talking about what you was the Indians that was enslaved me so much. Motherfucker, we got reclassified and done dirty just the same as you Africans. The ones of you that were a part of the 4%.
What Indian were you? Were you the one that had my ancestors enslaved? Because if you were part of the ones that, because you do know those red Native Americans enslaved Black American people, right? Are you part of that? Because then we need to have a.
I don't know, Phil. Do we call ourselves Black Indians or do we call ourselves Red Indians, Phil? Oh, damn. Just like how on the continent of Africa, there's like Arab Muslim Africans, and there's Africans that look damn near European, and then there's dark ass Congolese Africans. Damn, just like that, there was Black natives and light skinned natives and everything in between. But this motherfucker don't know American history while he's questioning us about American history. Say it ain't so. The only hope I have for the future is that this bullshit is gonna die with this generation.
Reparations too. Do you know those red Native Americans was also?
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Did this dumb nigga just try to say that we owe reparations too? Okay, all right. Black Indians owe African descendants of the all right. You sound real confused, Uncle Phil.
Reparations too. Do you? Are you part of that? Because then we need to have a talk. Because you owe reparations too. Do you know those red Native Americans was also working with the whites to catch people that.
You got the nerve to talk about some Native Americans were working with the whites when you greasy ass Africans sold your fellow Africans to the whites? You got the nerve to try to talk about Aboriginals working with whites when the transatlantic slave trade would not have happened at all if it wasn't for Africans greedily selling their brothers and sisters and uncles and cousins to the white man. Oh my God, he done lost his mind, y'all. Yeah, everybody can get it. And for some reason, it's these Africans, these Pan-Africans, and these old heads that's out here talking reckless about us Aboriginal folks. Them Africans have a sick obsession with the white man. The Africans sold their brothers to the white man. And you gonna talk about some natives that work with the white man? Out of the thousands of Native American tribes, you only know of 5 so-called civilized tribes that worked with the white man, but all you Africans worked with the white man, huh? All you Africans. Damn. Lord. You know you fucked up, right? You know you fucked up, Phil.
And they will say either bring them back or bring back their scalp, we'll still pay you. So are you part of that Native American tribes that were sitting up here enslaving and helping the Black American people? Or were you part of that? You American Indian, you? Because then we need to.
Phil, do you not know that Africans have been selling Africans since the 7th fucking century? Did you not know that after the Europeans were done with slavery, they abolished it and had to patrol the coast of Africa because you greasy ass Africans kept trying to sell slaves? Damn, how the white man go get some slaves for their colonies, finally decide, you know what, this is wrong, and they banging on us. Let's stop the slave business. And you Africans are still trying to perpetuate slavery? Since this ignorant ass nigga don't know nothing about the history of Africa and their direct involvement in the slave trade, because again, they were trading their people to Europeans. Europeans did not creep over to Africa and go hide in the bushes and still no Africans. Matter of fact, you Africans hid in the bushes and captured your fellow Africans and then took them to the coast to go sell to some white folks. You greedy, greasy ass bastards. And now we got the descendants of them fuckhead ass Africans up here running YouTube channels talking down on Aboriginal folks. Say it ain't so. Oh, hey, Phil, I guess you just weren't privy to this information, but you Africans started the slave trade. Oh, damn, say it ain't so. Damn, those degenerate ass Africans modern day want to talk about, oh, colonization, the white man did us so dirty. That's an African hiding in the bush to go steal some Africans, not a white man. Hey, wasn't this dumb nigga Phil just talking about, oh, we're using them natives that was working with the white man? Let's see how these Africans work with the white man.
I couldn't say how many days we worked for. I lost all sense of time, but it was several weeks, during which more unfortunate people like us joined us. We had no idea what to expect and could not even begin to imagine what lay ahead.
Damn, that's crazy. I don't see no white people in sight. I see Africans capturing innocent Africans to go sell to some Europeans. Whoa. And y'all got the nerve to try to make us have some false African identity when we proudly say we black natives. Miss me with that shit. We don't care how many of you old headpan goofies want to get online and claim that we're not. We know who we are. You Africans are ashamed of who you are, which is why you're taking such drastic measures as bleaching your fucking skin.
Wash at House of Feeder Body Care and Spa for 30 days. As you can see, it's very instant. You can see now it's peeling off, and this is December period. So your instant body wash, your whitening instant body wash.
Yeah, them Africans are so proud to be African, right, Phil? You guys have such African pride. Let's see how long it takes until we see a white man in this equation. Because so far, it's just Africans doing some greasy shit. There's some African on African crime if I ain't seen some yet. Oh, Lord. I still don't see a white man in sight, y'all. Not a white man in sight. Uncle Phil, you don't want to talk about this, Uncle Phil? Uncle Phil, let's have a conversation. Maybe I can teach you something.
(1825). The slave trade, which had been banned in France for 7 years, continued in secret between
Yes, motherfucker, this is the last years of the transatlantic slave trade. They started the slave trade. The Europeans are done with it. They ban it. And 7 years after the Europeans banned slavery, the Africans are still trading slaves in secret. You grimy motherfuckers, you.
Africa and the Americas. Although slavery had been abolished in France in 1794, Napoleon reestablished it. Emboldened by the lax attitude shown by authorities, slave ship owners in Nantes, Bordeaux, and the West Indies continued their lucrative partnership. Ships delivered on...
Damn, imagine how the world would be different if when them Europeans came to Africa and said, hey, do you have some slaves? They said, no, we don't do that to one another. Damn, imagine if when the Europeans came over with some guns and some beer and some trinkets and said, hey, we got some colonies, we need some slaves. You want to like go capture some people and sell them to us? Imagine if the Africans, like in the 90s, right? Crack pandemic, right? Imagine if they just said no. Come on, y'all. Come on. Look at this greasy shit. Look at these motherfuckers negotiating with the Europeans.
Indian cloth. I decided to take the ship surgeon along with me. For him, it would be an edifying experience, as he had never visited these parts before, and I doubt that he had any idea of how negotiations were conducted. I hadn't told him a thing.
What do you need, Captain?
300 parrots and mules, half in pieces of Indian cloth.
Munuma loolu nekk fi munuma ko jox lu weesu téeméeru bopp ak juróom benn fukk wala ñaari téeméeri bopp. I can only give you between 160 and 200 pieces.
Then allow me to trade with the natives.
Damn, y'all, this is wild. Remember, it's a slave trade. They was trading guns.
His Majesty could easily hit it, and even something much smaller.
Damn, Uncle Phil don't want to talk about this though.
Conversation. You claim you're an Indian, and yet you get no Indian set-asides. You run around here claiming you're an Indian. Do you know what an Indian look like in America? Elizabeth Warren. You know what? Let me pull up her picture. Let me show you what an Indian look like in America. Hold on. Don't cut on my page to the Indian crap, because I don't want to hear it. Give me a second. Let me pull up what a real Native American in this country look like. Hold on. Give me a second. Pull her up. Elizabeth. Hold on. Elizabeth. Oh, sorry, y'all. Hold on. I forgot. I need to have her. Well, hold on. Pull her picture up. Elizabeth. Hold on. Warren.
Come on, Grandpa.
There we go.
Come on, Grandpa. You can do it. You can do it. He's searching for a photo of Elizabeth Warren. Listen to the cooning and buffooning.
That's that real Native American right there that I need to pull up. Give me a second. Let me get up this great Native American on this screen here. What the hell? Why am I running so slow? Okay, there's no memory on that page. What is going on?
Grandpa, I know you were old head. I know y'all not good with technology. I'm glad you was even able to get a green screen functioning properly. Grandpa, why we gotta wait so long for you to pull up a photo of Elizabeth Warren to try to prove your asinine point? Come, Grandpa, we're patiently waiting, Grandpa. Come on.
Let me get this good Native American on this screen for y'all. Hold on. Let me download this picture real quick, just so y'all can see what a Native American looks like in America. Okay, image. There we go. That's that great Native American right there. Okay, if y'all don't look like this, if you don't look like this, you're not a Native American. That's a
Yeah. Now you wonder why I do what I do, because you old head coon ass Sambo clowns got the audacity to tell us unless we look like that, we're not native? Oh, damn. Unless I look like Elizabeth Warren, I'm not a native, guys. Let these old head pan goofy coons online tell us who we are. Guys, I'm too dark, guys. I know a lot of you guys think I'm light-skinned, but in actuality, I'm too dark. I gotta be like 6 shades lighter for me to be a true Native American. Let Philip Scott tell it. Yeah, guys, it's a changing of the guard. It's out with the old, it's in with the new. Us young Black Americans know our Aboriginal roots, and we ain't letting no dying ass old head ideology hold us back anymore. No, 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 no. Out with the old heads and in with the new. This motherfucker got the audacity to tell us we not native unless we look like Elizabeth Warren. Wow.
If you don't look like this, you're not a Native American. That's a Native American in this country. If you go look at all the recognized so-called Native American tribes, all of them got people that look just like that running it. I went to see myself. So if you don't look like Native, you.
So we're supposed to trust Phil. Phil says he went to a Native American tribe himself. Phil, if you're an African, why did you go to a Native American? Phil, this isn't making sense. What business did you have going to a Native American tribe if you're an African? Shouldn't you be going to Africa? Matter of fact, why aren't you in Africa? Why don't you go back to Africa? Oh, it's because Africa's a shithole. Africa's a place where this is what they do to one another.
But man, I'm not free now. Don't do freedom now. You even talk and say are they free to go?
Men are free. For my hand.
Stop chagonum again. I'm going free now.
Family now forever. You don't know. I get people you see. See ya. Where we is. Only thing we fit separate family and death. Jawele.
Yeah, y'all. That's African entertainment, y'all. That's African. That's how they entertain themselves. That's what they watch. This weird head beheading snuff film. Yeah. This is African entertainment. So what does that say about their culture? Oh Lord. We don't want nothing to do with you greasy ass motherfucking Africans. Hey, peep game, y'all. You know how the Africans be online talking shit about foundational Black Americans, saying we're degenerates and we're single mothers and baby daddies on welfare, right? I ain't never seen a single mother of 44 until I took a trip to Africa. Hold up. Y'all didn't hear me wrong. You heard me right. I didn't say a 44-year-old single mother. I said a single mother of 44.
This lady gave birth to 44 kids before turning 40, and she raises all of them as a single mother. This is one woman's incredible journey of motherhood, but she refuses to be reduced to just that. I'm heading to Uganda to meet her and hear from her kids for what is sure to be an emotional roller coaster. Mama Uganda's story is a sad one. Forced into marriage at 12 years old, she gave birth 16 times to quintuple.
Yeah, you greasy ass Africans. This woman was sold into sex slavery by her. Oh wait, I gotta go to the beginning. She was abandoned by her mother when she was 3 days old. Then when she was 12 years old, her daddy sold her to a middle-aged man as a sex slave for some goats and cattle.
Triplets, and twins before getting abandoned by her husband to raise all 44 kids on her own while working 3 jobs. You have any relationship with your mother at all?
That since that day when her mom abandoned her when she was 3 days, she has never seen her mom. That her father.
Damn, since her mama abandoned her when she was 3 days old, she has never seen her mom. And then her daddy waited until she got to the ripe age of 12 so that she can be sold as a child bride. These greasy ass fucking Africans. Hey, Phil runs an African diaspora news channel. I bet you he ain't never covered this shit. I bet you only learning about this on Mike TV and all on the African diaspora news channel, huh?
He's still alive, the one who married her off when she was 12 years old.
How did that happen? Because when you were 12, you probably didn't have much of a choice.
For her, she believes her father sold her because he was given cows, goats, and money. So it's like she was sold off.
Oh, she was sold off.
Yeah.
Just so the father could.
Yeah. Get those.
That's
stuff.
terrible.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, there's one father to all the kids, right?
Yeah.
And why is he not here helping raise the kids?
The main reason actually why the man abandoned her because that she produced a lot.
So he.
Damn, these degenerate ass African men. He gets a 12-year-old bride when he's 45, gets her knocked up. She's having 44 kids. He abandons her, and then she about to say he started a few other side families. This one single African man is a father of 44 children with her, plus 5 other women he got children with. And you wonder why these fucking Africans are such degenerates. You wonder why they're such backward savages. You wonder why when we see them coming through holes at our U.S. border, we only see men. No women, no kids, because they abandoned their women and kids. Damn, all them Africans coming through the Mexican border. I don't see no women and children in sight.
But they're his kids, though.
Yeah.
So he just didn't want
produce
to.
a road, so he has another wife, and the other produces one. Yet for her
Yeah,
to
but
produce
the man,
maybe.
he gave her the kids. It was his choice too, the man.
Most men over here in Africa, they don't like taking care of their kids.
You heard it straight from the fucking Africans. Most men here in Africa don't like taking care of their kids. Damn, hey, last night I had an African call into my show and say some dumb shit about the Pew Research Center, said that over 85% of black men are not in the home with their children. I looked it up in real time. We Googled it. I shared my stream. It was actually 44%. So we got these Africans online trying to tell us that we abandon our kids, trying to tell us that we're not active fathers, and they abandon their children on such a large scale. Say it ain't so.
They take care of them when they have grown up. Like for us ladies, they know, yeah, she's going to bring dowry at home, you know?
Did he treat you well in your marriage before he left you? Was he at least nice to the kids? Was he nice to you?
Deka abaana oba naawe mwali mulina enkolagana ennungi. The man was 45 years and for her she was 12 years. So obviously there was no, there's no kind of love. It's like a forced marriage. So there was no good relationship.
So the 45-year-old married the 12-year-old.
Yeah, and the guy had 4 other women, so she was the 5th.
Damn, and Phil runs the African Diaspora News channel, and he ain't talking about that African news. He taking time to try to tell us, unless we look like Elizabeth Warren, we're not natives. Damn. Hey, Phil, why don't you talk about the fact that Africans are still selling Africans modern day?
They sell Africans over there. In Libya, they sell men. Even 15-year-old Libyans are there in a car, they're armed. They'll come and kidnap you, and they'll sell you for $70 to $150. And then others will resell you.
As soon as you arrive in Libya, the first thing that happens is that you are taken away and sold. Our black brothers from West Africa, wherever you are from, a Malian, a Senegalese, or any other nationality from the West, even an Ivorian, you are sold. And for what? $700.
Damn, they selling their African brothers modern day for trinkets. Still. And Phil don't want to talk about that. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Hey, these old heads lying about our lineage got me so bent out of shape. I ain't even told y'all. Hit the like button on the way in. Hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you appreciate me standing on lineage while all these fuckheads on these internet streets want to run around talking about we ain't native unless we look like Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren, then you're not a Native American. Please don't tell me you're the Native American crap. I don't want to hear it. Especially when those people, and you talking about you're a Native American, you're an Indian, right? This is what you claim, because it annoys me. After we was emancipated, those Native American tribes still had some of our people enslaved, and the U.S. government had to go to them and say, hey, you can't keep them enslaved like that. They free. But you claiming you an Indian, no.
So he's going to bring up an anecdotal example of one tribe that refused to, and it wasn't refused to free the black slaves they held, they refused to give them citizenship into the tribe. And then those black natives went to Congress and they got citizenship. So see how these pan goofies don't know what the fuck they talking about? See how they just talking out their ass? Why don't you take it from an actual black native, Phil Scott? You don't know what the hell you talking about. You should take a seat. You should just stick to discussing them Africans. Since you're such a proud African and you're blackity, blackity, black, black, y'all, then maybe you should just stick to speaking about, to, and for your fellow African. Me no African, Poppy. Me native. Stop the cat. And ladies and gentlemen, the StreamYard link is pinned to the top of the chat. This is the time where we're going to go ahead and open up the airwaves. Click the link, call in. Let me know what you think about this shit. All week, I've been battling these old head content creators who want to say, for one reason or another, we're not natives. And then when I put this image on the screen, damn, things get real interesting, don't they? Yeah. Let's see what else Phil has to say.
Please. Like I said, I'm sorry, y'all. They get on my nerves sometimes. Go talk that over there with that page with that crap. Don't bring that crap over here. I'm proud to be a black American man. That's my identity. I'm proud of that. Yes, of course, we are the oldest people on the planet Earth. I guess Minister Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, and then when they said we the original man, right? I guess they lied too.
Yes, D. Dennis. D. Dennis says, I've been talking about this fool Phil since he started his channel. He's an agent, always trying to get black Americans to move to Africa. Mike is the first person to address this agent, Phil. Hey, peep game, why are the Pan-Africans always trying to convince us to move to Africa, yet they're here living in America? Why are the Africans making videos trying to convince us to move to Africa and invest into Africa when they're fleeing Africa in mass? Damn. They really think we that stupid, huh, y'all? They just must think that we that stupid. Everybody want to flee Africa. Don't nobody want to go there. Phil went there recently just for a fucking photo op. He went and took some photos and some videos and then got his ass back to Houston. Even them Africans don't want to be in Africa, but we supposed to go to Africa, huh?
More than 200 African migrants have scaled the border fence into the Spanish enclave of Melilla. It's the biggest assault on the border in more than 8 years. The new arrivals, many from Cameroon and Guinea, headed towards the Migrant Reception Centre, celebrating touching European soil.
Yeah, that was them fleeing over to Europe, and here's them fleeing to our country.
Migrant encounters. They topped Bill 190,000 people.
There's a
in
selfie
December.
on another selfie. You see the wall in the distance, right? Yeah. So at some point they came through, whether there was a hole there or a gap in the wall, who knows? But they'll be processed, and very soon you're going to see our drone cameras overhead showing you where they assemble next.
Can I tell you something about that selfie? So last week we saw the reporter from Mexico, a journalist in Mexico, saying that this is happening a lot, that this is how they're communicating with their families back home. They send a selfie that says, I got here, and because they look like they're in pretty good shape, they think it's encouraging the family members to follow.
Damn. Hey, help me out, guys. I don't watch Phil Scott like that. Has he ever talked about the Africans that are fleeing through our border en masse? Has he talked about them Africans that were found in illegal dwellings under basements and furniture stores in New York and shit? Does Phil ever talk about that? Huh. I wonder.
Because how can you be the original man? And even the white folks will tell you that the cradle of life starts in the continent of Africa. You are the oldest DNA on the planet. The oldest. You are the blueprint. Why?
Yeah, we know there's an out of Africa theory, and we know some Europeans believe that, but even the Europeans aren't calling themselves African Europeans. They even think that life started in Africa, and they're not calling themselves Afro-Spaniards. Damn, most of the slaves went to the Caribbeans, and them Jamaicans don't call themselves African Jamaicans. Damn, don't nobody want to be African, but we're supposed to be force-fed this African identity. How strange. How strange. When to be an African is to be a global failure. To be an African is to be a global embarrassment. Everybody knows that. That's why they want to cosplay as a Black American, right?
You want to throw all that away for somebody else that was grafted off of you? All people of the earth was grafted off of us. Why you want to throw that away for people that had us enslaved? Anyway, just want to put that out there. Get mad if you want. You know, like I said, at this point, I'm not arguing with people. I'm just talking to certain people because the way people talk in this country, what I've learned in a lot of ways, a lot of people have something that starts with an M and ends with an I. I'm going to say there, you figure out what I'm saying, because if I could really go there, I may get in trouble.
Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. Old head talking in code. You know, we just supposed to kind of get what he's saying. You know, we ain't native unless we look like Elizabeth Warren, you know. And, you know, we just think that we native because there's some guy that he won't name that we're getting this from. It's not because we've done our genealogy and our Native American tribal citizens. Okay, old head. Okay. All right. Just go ahead and retire, Phil. Just go ahead and retire and move to Africa. And you'll probably get murdered like all the other African Americans, quote unquote, Africans Americans that are moving to Africa, right? The African Americans move to Africa and get killed by the continental Africans. Oh, damn. Say it ain't so. That's a strange situation, ain't it? We're going to go ahead and bring up our live callers in order. The first person we got coming from the back to the front is Israel Bound. Let us know where you're calling in from and what do you think about Phil Scott and his rhetoric towards Black Indians?
What's up, man? I'm calling from Kansas City. What's going on with you? I think I remember Phil Scott back in the day when he used to be, if I'm not mistaken, he used to be in that Umar Johnson sector back in the day, way back when he first started. But the way I feel about it is people who use the terminology of African, period, perpetuates the bullshit of Pan-Africanism, because you don't use the term Asians to describe all people from the continent, like you say Chinese or Japanese, or you know what I'm saying? Yep. But when you say Africans, you lump all of everybody together, which is problematic because tell me at any point in time, whether it be in television, in real life, or you dreamed it or anything, have you seen a group of Africans with beards and mustaches? Hit that explosion.
I don't see them with beards and mustaches, and I don't even see them with afros.
Yeah, that's the button I was telling you to hit. That one right there.
Yeah, I found it.
see, because that's important, because when did we stop looking like them?
Talk about it.
All right. So if people get more into world history, you'll understand that the people who called themselves Hebrews from the land of Israel, we know that those people were black people as well, and they identified themselves apart from Africans as well. They didn't associate with Africans as well. They didn't practice with them. They didn't participate with them. But in 70 AD, when Jerusalem was sieged, you can read this history in a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu, where thousands and thousands of Jews, hundreds of thousands, maybe 100,000 or so Jews fled into Africa from the persecutions of the Romans and the Greeks and all of these people who was, well, I think it was the Romans that sieged in 70 AD. But at the end of the day, they fled into Africa. And so Africans weren't selling their own people into slavery. They were selling other black people into slavery, right? Because I identify with the Hebrew Israelites, and we don't identify with Africans. We don't associate ourselves with them, and we don't believe that because Israel is connected with the continent of Africa, that makes us Africans, so to say.
Hey, if you want to get biblical with it, they ham. I ain't ham, Playboy.
Exactly. And the Bible speaks expressly against that nation, those nations of people, which we refer to as Africans, for the practices that we talk about today, drinking blood and all this weird shit. That's been in their history. It's been in their history. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when we get to the basis and the fruit of it all, before I get off topic, you just brought up an important thing about the African Americans, and I just was recently looking at the women in the Gambia that's been dying,
not dying, being murdered, being murdered.
Right, yeah. Right. I mean, I didn't want to be the one to say it, right? But that's going on over there. And look at who they're targeting, a specific group of people. There's been plenty of women over there, you know what I'm saying, to be doing these things too. And I'm sure they have their crimes amongst each other, but they prey on foreign people that are not of them. That's
because
what they do.
Foreigners have resources. Facts. Because foreigners have resources, and them Africans, above all else, are in love with the white man. Over in Gambia, they've nicknamed Gambia Grambia because all them young African men is tricking off on old European women on holiday.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America, America, beautiful. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come back with us to America?
That is pathetic.
Yeah, it is. And see, when we talk about the things that's going on in the Gambia, it would be unfair for us to just say, look at what the Africans are doing, right? Because you have neighboring nations that are not doing these things.
Facts.
See what I'm saying? So we have to start breaking these people down into their nations, because at the end of the day, if I walk down the street 100 times and come across 100 Africans, I'm gonna identify 100 Africans.
That's right.
I'm not going to mistake them for one.
And,
I'm not going to mistake them for one of us.
Facts. And I actually have to segue into the next broadcast here. So go ahead and leave us with some closing remarks, and then we got to get to our next caller.
Yes, sir. I'm closing my remarks with that's all I had to say.
Hey, well, go ahead and drop the mic. I mean, you came correct here. Let me go ahead and hit that button for you again.
Deuces.
Show, brother. I'll talk to you soon. All right, next we've got Doe Getta coming from the back to the front. Let the folks know where you're calling in from and what do you think about Phil Scott?
Oh shit! I don't think shit about Phil Scott. I'm coming out of Sacramento, California. What's cracking, everybody?
Oh, that's what's up. 916 in the building.
You already know what it is. Hey, check it out though. Here's a little history lesson for you. All right. We talk about the slave trade and African Americans coming over here on boats, right? Well, check it out. If that's the case, then the Europeans that brought Africans over here were not resisted by Africans. And let me tell you why. In 1271, Kublai Khan, who is basically the descendant of Genghis Khan, who basically controlled 25% of the entire fucking planet, tried to invade Japan twice.
And couldn't. That's right.
And could not do it.
On some Ghost of Tsushima shit, nigga. I know all about it. That's right.
Could not do it. So don't tell me them niggas is not us. Let's listen to what I'm saying. And on top of that,
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Not only are they not us, but the only reason why they were able to conquer in the Americas is because they brought the disease. That's the only reason they
smallpox. Exactly. So this whole African American shit is basically fugazi. Let's be clear. And on top of that, okay, you also mentioned something else about slavery in Africa. And in 2010 or it was 2012, I forget. Gaddafi in Libya actually apologized for Arabs' participation in the slave trade in Africa himself, the leader of fucking Libya. All right. So don't tell me that them Africans are not a part of whoever got enslaved and brought over here. They are part and parcel of anybody that got brought from the continent here. The Africans on the continent are responsible for it. So I don't claim African American. I never will claim African American because my people started here. My people are from here. And that's fact.
Hold on. Let's play devil's advocate too. Let's say Mike is not a Native American at all. Let's say that we are a part of the 4% that came during the transatlantic slave trade. Let's just hypothetically think about that for a moment.
Sure.
If we come from people that were captured and enslaved by their fellow countrymen and exported to Europeans, what the fuck do we want to do with the Africans for?
Exactly. We are a different people in the same way that the Filipinos in the Philippine Islands are different people from the Chinese and the Spaniards that conquered them. We are an entirely different people. We have to get out of that mindset that we have any connection to Africa. We do not. The majority of Black people in this country have absolutely no connection to Africa at all.
Facts.
I'm gonna land my plane right there.
Wait, and then even the ones that were a part of the 4%, they intermingled and assimilated with tribes and married into the so even the ones of the 4% got more recent native lineage than fucking you got to go back 600 years for your African lineage, right?
Exactly. Okay. You are more connected to these people here than those people there.
What
like I said, brother,
traditions or customs do y'all hold on to? You quote unquote African Americans? None. But I know a bunch of tribal customs and traditions that are Aboriginal you'll hold on to. The natives sat around with their niggas and smoked on that tobacco husk, kind of like how the niggas hang around and smoke the backwoods today, huh? Oh, man. It's so many things that we have within our culture and our tradition, and don't none of it speak to Africa.
Believe it. That's it, brother. I'm landing my plane. I'm out.
All right, brother. Till next time. Yeah, shoot. I'm getting lucky with all the intellectuals calling in tonight. Normally I got the Pangoofies calling in. I got the low IQ members calling in. But we got Desmond in the house. Desmond, let the folks know where you're calling in from and what do you think about Phil Scott?
Calling in from Florida who's this guy, Phil Scott?
Yeah, African Diaspora News Channel he runs. Yeah.
This man looks like he needs some Just for Men shaving cream. But what I think about him, Well, he could go talk to Umar and get a $2,400 ticket and go over there to Africa and dance underneath the waterfalls and be one of the black bears of Africa, like how Umar says it. I mean, if he wants to go back there that bad, then why not? I mean, I help him out with his Social Security check. Make sure you get over there.
Hey, and peep game, he was afraid to say Dane Calloway's name. He talking about, oh, there's this dude that y'all got it from. Yes, you're right. I first heard of our Aboriginal lineage from Dane Calloway. And guess what? Dane always said, I'm just here to make you think. And he did make me and my family think. So we researched our genealogy and we found we were native. So then we applied for citizenship and we're granted it. So yes, I think we'd be better off listening to someone like Dane Calloway than someone like Phil Scott, who wants us to go to Africa, but he don't want to go to Africa. Okay. All right.
I saw someone in the chat actually say that he was trying to go to Ghana for 6 years and he's just still sitting up in Houston or something like that.
Yes, someone in the chat said that 6 years ago he was claiming that he had a plan to move to Ghana, and 6 years later he's still in Houston.
so why is he still here talking? If he really wants to go make a difference, then go over there and do his little green screen one button podcast from over there.
He is the ultimate Pan-African grift. He literally runs the Pan-African the African Diaspora news channel. I mean, come on. He's Umar Johnson minus the drugs and gambling addiction. Come on.
It's literally. Like I said, just go. If you really want to make a difference, just go over there and do it from there, and see how long you can stay over there to Africa and do your little newscast and be like, hey, we all from Africa. Look at me. I'm back in my motherland. While, they come in and ransack his house and poo-poo his booty hole. So,
hey, that's how they get down over there. And shout out to Ari. Ari says, Mike, how to go from 12 million so-called Africans brought to America to 92,000? That means North America only received about 4,600 slaves, but it's 41 millions of us in America. Exactly. First, they told us for years it was 12 million Africans brought to America. Now they said, okay, it was 92,000. And then they're saying, well, only 4% of those came to North America. So come on now. How do we have such a huge population of black folks?
That's facts.
Don't make no damn sense. And yes, all of our grandmas and family said that we was native, not that we was no African. So I think I'll listen to Meemaw before I listen to Phil Scott.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to my grandparents who actually had the shark tubes and the feathers and everything else. Then this guy, he looks like he needs to literally go to a Walmart and get some Just for Men shaving cream for that hair and beard he is. I better listen to my grandparents than that. At least I know
that hairline ain't strong. He's definitely giving African vibe. Yeah, I think he was part of the 4% for sure. I think he was definitely part of. I think his uncle sold his mama into slavery for some beer and a musket. I think that's true.
You know how they say that those little $5 Indians? I think he's only a nickel Indian.
And then his wife isn't even African or black in any way. His wife's like Mexican, so it's like.
Wait, you kidding me?
Yeah, hey, I date outside my race, but it'd be weird if I date outside my race while claiming I'm some kind of black African identity extremist, right?
Oh, now why he hasn't went over to Africa yet with that wife of his. They would tear them up.
Hey. But hey, brother, is the lady with you today?
Yes, she is.
Okay. Well, before you provide some closing remarks, let's go ahead and see what the lady has to say about Phil Scott. I'm not sure if she's aware of him or if this is your first introduction to Uncle Phil.
Okay. All right. It's all you.
I actually never seen him or heard of him before in my life. So I really don't have a comment on, what he's all about, per se.
Yeah.
So the fat, greasy looking dude. Okay.
Don't you look like you need some Just for Men stuff?
You need to go to the gym.
First impression from the lady, he needs to go to the gym. Them titties a little saggy. I mean, hey, Phil, I thought you were just in Africa. You sweat out no calories or nothing? I mean, all right.
Alrighty, okay.
So like I said, it took the man 2 minutes to just hit Google, and he had to download it.
But he
Download
says
He
says
had to
that
download
unless
it.
we look like Elizabeth Warren, we're not Native American.
That is
Unless we look like her. Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, she's white.
She's not. She's white. She's a white lady.
She also got caught for some school.
Yeah, I remember she got caught with this defrauding the school system up north or something, and
Yeah, we know about her too.
yeah. So if he, yeah, okay.
Hey,
Alright.
hey, if he's saying that unless we look like Elizabeth Warren, we not Indian, well, goddamn it, nigga, unless you look like this, you ain't African. How about that?
I guess so.
I don't
mean,
look like that. Do y'all look like that?
My grandfather was full-blooded Indian,
Yep.
so
there
you
go.
know.
Hey, unless you look like one of these Negroes here, you're not an African. How about that?
No, I don't look like a tether.
I
That's
don't even see Black Americans that of dark complexion.
that dark.
Most of us are brown.
Forever down here, and I
Most of
can't
us,
even that dark.
most of us are copper colored for the most part. It's kind of like, rare once in a while you come across like a real dark brother or sister.
But
for
you
the most
can
part,
all. I'm sorry to cut you off, Mike.
No, you
but
good.
you can always tell, a Nigerian or one of them people from over there, because if their bone structure is different than ours,
Yep, the
their
phenotype. Yep.
skin tone, the way they talk, you can spot them out real quick.
Yeah, you can spot them out like flies on a piece of bread.
Hey, unless you look like this, you ain't African, okay?
I've seen plenty of those right there.
I don't know no family that look like that. I don't got no friends that look like that. Come on. But but all right, y'all. I got to get to one more caller, and then right after this, we're gonna be roasting Umar and Tariq a little bit.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.
All right, see you on the next one. And the last caller we've got is it True the Real You?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. Let us know where you're calling
Uh,
in from and what do you think about Phil Scott?
I am calling in from Decatur, Georgia, and I am originally from Tunica, Mississippi. And my mother always said, Blackfoot, she was a much older woman even when she gave birth to me. So, a lot of things I got to find out. But anyway, I was done with Phil Scott when he said, "Oh, reparations," and he was saying something about reparations. Then he gonna say, "Well, just give me a cool meal and I'll go over to Africa." I was so done with him. $1 million, man. What is wrong with you?
Wow.
So, so a couple of times. It's been some time ago, but I had trolled him a couple of times. I get in there talking about, "Why don't you just get your meal and go on over there because you're gonna be so broke." Real quick, you're gonna already be broke. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And also, I just started. I came across your channel like probably not even 2 weeks ago, and I enjoy it. I've been going and watching your past videos and stuff, and I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yes. And maybe we'll get to talk more some because I'm from Mississippi. My mother was a civil rights activist there. She did a whole lot of work, traveled here to Georgia. And like I said, telling me about our family. And I remember her saying, because my mother actually fought for her, for, reparations for, she was actually doing that then. And that had to be like maybe in the 80s, I think. And so I remember that. And yeah, so she told me a lot about the family and just a whole lot. Like, okay, my grandfather, her father, which came from his part of the family came from Arkansas over there, Helena, Arkansas. A whole lot went on over there too. And I mean, just rich history all down up in there. And so he came and over and yeah, he was like one of the, even though wasn't on the front street, but he was like the only black man, and you can, well, they knew he was black, but he was really light skinned. But he because his mother was white or something, my mother would say, "I don't say no white, Irish or something." She would say, but anyway, so then uh 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 he had like the only black barbershop for so long, downtown. This before my time, of course, but just the roots that I came from. My brother actually um what is that Player Fly, his first two uh album CDs or whatever, I wasn't like in any of that, but he like did his
Yeah,
first two
and
albums.
real quick, I just want to acknowledge this comment from Van
Hmm.
Mac. Van says, "I'm beginning to believe anybody who teaches the out of Africa theory is an agent because that's what the white supremacy wants us to believe." Yeah, not just that, but anybody who's promoting
True.
this, long-standing narrative of the transatlantic slave trade and trying to make it seem like every
No.
Black American comes from Africa. History is way more nuanced than that. I mean, there was Black folks here before the
Yeah.
colonies. There was Black folks that fought in the American Revolution, that fought in the
Yeah.
Civil War as
Yeah.
freedmen, like not
Yeah.
enslaved at all. I mean, come on.
I don't know, not where I come from. And I mean, like saying from somewhere else. My mother never spoke about anything about Africa or anything. I don't even, if that comes up, then it would be a surprise to me. And I'm not saying yay or nay, but that's not like in anything that I
And
was
when
told.
we say, why did none of our families say anything about Africa? They say, well, remember, we made you watch that Roots movie and all your
No,
ancestors got the
no.
Toby treatment and then they just beat it out of
No.
you. Okay. All right.
No. Okay. Okay. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I appreciate you. So you got you know, I I I just have the channel to watch YouTube, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And I'm building myself for my community, our community. That's how I was raised. So I'm doing things and just growing in life. I know we're all gonna grow in life because we have to do this because we're really strong, but we're small. It's I
Yeah,
mean,
we got to stick
as far
together.
as purity, yeah, as
Mhm.
far as purity. So I am really, really, and I'm proud of myself. So I'm doing things. I mean, just the footsteps that my mother. I would never fill her shoes. No way. That was an amazing woman, and so just I'm just doing my best and just
Carrying the torch forward, right? Just carrying the
Yes,
torch. I
yes,
feel you.
yes.
Well, hey,
Thank you.
I'm glad you called in. I'm glad you enjoy the
Hmm.
content, and yeah, most of the streams I do, I have a call in link posted, so I hope you click that link and call in the future. And
Oh,
I must
most
say,
definitely.
it's very refreshing to hear from an elder in the community who's not on this pan goofy cooning and buffooning because. As of late, I've been having to give a lot of elders this work, so it's nice to hear from one who's like, no, I know my roots, I know my people. It's all good. So yeah, don't hesitate to click that link and call in
Well,
the
yeah,
future.
I'm not too much your elder though, but yeah, thank you.
Well, hold
Yeah,
on, wait.
yeah, I'm not.
Let's play a game. Let's play a game. How old do you think Mike TV is?
I don't know.
Well, guess. Come on. How old?
Uh, I can't guess that.
Well,
I can't.
you said that you aren't that much my elder, so you must at least have a guess of like what my age range is or something. Come on.
Oh no, you saying elder? I'm just saying, just in general. It I mean, it wouldn't matter. I'm just, speaking in general. I'm not saying like your elder. I'm just saying in general.
I know. I totally get what you're
Yeah.
saying. I just wanted to play a quick fun age game because I've learned that a
Yeah.
lot of people actually think I'm much older than I am. So I was
Oh,
curious.
oh, me too. Me too.
How old do you
Me
think I
too. Most definitely. Me too. I told you my mother was older when she gave me. I mean, when she gave birth to me, her and my father. And so, my dad was actually exiled. My family, my parents have an amazing story. They was broke up, this black household, and they were strong. Like really, my dad was Oh man, I can't wait to. I need to do a book, like for real. I don't know anything, but I really need to get around to doing it. So he was exiled out of Mississippi. My parents was older. I was raised by older parents. And people have always just the way that I carry myself, but then once you kind of people get to know me, they
Oh wait,
so.
and real quick, I got another great comment from Van. Van says, even if
Mhm.
you have an African ancestor from many generations back, it don't make you African. Just like if
No.
you have a white
It
ancestor,
may
it
be.
don't make you exactly.
Right.
My mother is biracial. My grandmother on my mom's side is a
Mhm.
blonde hair, blue eye, German
Mhm.
Irish woman.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I don't feel like I have any ties to Germany. I mean, I don't have any German
No.
tradition. I
No.
like a good Polish dog or some
Mhm.
sauerkraut, but other than that, no.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Right.
But all right, sis. It was nice chopping it up with you, and hopefully
Thank you.
that we
Same
can.
here.
All right, you have a great
All
evening.
righty.
All right, then there was one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't go anywhere. As soon as the stream ends, there's going to be a 10-second countdown on your screen, and then the next broadcast is going to automatically begin. 8. Brown. So